see you, mate.
How was the scene in Stoke around that time?
Everybody our age wanted to be a part of what was happening, you know, just like any other trend.
Punk rock happened, you know, teenagers, just like our parents before that, and my grandparents before that.
But we didn't see it like as a trend, it was more of a, well, we didn't know it was going to be a way of life, which it has become.
Very young.
Very young.
And very influenced by what was going on.
And me and Roy decided that we was going to do it, and we wanted the rest of the lads to be a part of it, and everyone agreed to it, apart from Bones. He was the only one that actually could play the guitar.
Politics and all that shite at the time. The backdrop of miners' strikes and this and that, and it wasn't a good time to live through, but it was, because it was very much a learning curve.
That was a boy trying to get everyone together to do it, and then when we did it, then it all fell apart. Because Akko, the drummer, left. I'd get to do all the jobs that no one else wants to do. I stumbled on the drums and come up with that fucking...
It was a time of anarchy, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, and you kind of grew up politically very quickly.
Obviously, the people watching us saw something in it and come watch us again, and got the ball rolling. Our first gig, which was me on the drums and Calvin singing, they instantly saw the reaction that we were causing and wanted some of that.
Early '77, we were making demos, yeah? So
nothing like Discharge.
I've only just recently heard, it sounds a lot like the Buzzcocks sing. I heard Orgasm Addict, and that was about it I heard from the Buzzcocks. So I wasn't influenced by the Buzzcocks and their drum style. I was totally into Motorhead. Let's fucking have it! This one's for fucking Lemmy!
along with the initial run of you know, the godfathers of punk as they, you know,
Sex Pistols
and all that shite. I mean, we were there.
It was only 17, 18 at that time, so your parents ruled your world, basically. And Mum and Dad weren't really all that pissed off with it, so we thought we'd come up with something a little more extreme that they would be pissed off with. Especially the name, they didn't like the name. My mum hated the name Discharge, so I thought that's a winner straight ahead.
Listen. Now this one I usually dedicate to Motorhead, and we got another one that died yesterday fucking day. So this goes out for fucking Mick and the GBH. Anna Marie Goswell, fucking regular. We fucking miss her.
Life changing, you know. It was somewhere to release all that angst and, you know.
Energy.
Yeah, rather than just hanging around on street for people and just pissing your life away, as you know most people were doing at the time.
Trying to make it different from what it was, because everything else was just souped up pop songs, really. It wasn't the idea of punk that we had.
No blueprint for like, let's change this, let's do that.
The band just changed totally.
Yeah, and the sound.
Because Taz was the singer, then he became the drummer.
Yeah, and
Calvin became the singer.
You wake up sometimes, you think, fuck everything, fuck this shit, what's the point? But you channel that into anger. And you turn your anger into positivity.
no one was doing anything different. You know what I mean? Everyone was playing the same old shit with a la-di-da chorus here and there, and then you got fucking Oi that come along and even made it worse. We didn't want that. We didn't want that. I don't know where that came from. Like, because we just, well, obviously it followed the pattern that I was playing on the drums. The music followed that pattern, and we just stumbled on all the chords that we were using were more appetizing when they were like minor scales. So we just come up with ideas that would take it into a different perspective and not be so la-di-da about it. Something you couldn't really hum in the shower.
You guys want more of this fucking racket?
We had shit gear. We couldn't afford decent equipment. So we were using amplifiers from the 1950s and homemade cabinets, you know. So they just gave us this really earthy, fucking noisy, you know, and we thought, yeah, that's...
And the fact that we couldn't play that well.
And we thought, yeah, we kind of go with that.
It wasn't like a conscious decision. We just felt like doing what we did, and we never thought anything of it, really. I'm not even sure if we wanted it to become popular.
Let's get this fucking place bouncing.
But nobody ever heard anything like what we did, and neither did we. It's like when we did the first single, it was like, me personally, I was fucking hell, I was everything like that.
Fortunately, it changed the course of music. And it's kind of weird to deal with when you think about that, because when you consider yourself to be, you know what I mean, just trying to get along in the fucking music business, I didn't want to change everything. And all of a sudden you become part of a big change in the scene.
I thought it was like, it was too out there for anybody to like. Because it was like, I had to like.
The nightmare continues!
And then I heard the Reality's War on John Peel the first time we played it. Like, we were all sitting around the table, like, just listening to John Peel, and it came on the radio.
Discontented, so good joint.
Yeah, and it was like, God, we've just been played on the radio, you know what I mean? It's like, wow.
We played with Sham at the Victoria Hall on the street, and we gave him Tanya gave him the demos and said, what do you think? And he proceeded to tongue lashes with a bunch of fucking oi, yeah, you'll never do a fucking thing, fuck off, this is garbage.
Anybody go and see it if you were crap. You know what I mean? You could get 200 people go and see it if you were the fucking worst band in the world.
There was no formally.
No, there was nothing. I mean, like, you get thousands go and see, like, you know, big bands are down in the Clash. We played with them like loads of times, and we were like fucking awful. Like, we were awful.
I don't think we actually realised ourselves what
we were doing.
Me and my brother fell out, as we do. Used to do all the time, actually, and then since I've quit drinking, kids, have you tried this? Do your fucking head in.
This one is going out to the ladies. You gotta understand, it's a weird concept to us.
vented our angst, you know, to what was happening around us, both politically and socially. It just became a very much part of your life. You know, you're not even questionable.
He got it right up in sounds, saying broken bones. Bones broke from discharge. I wrote to sounds and I said, I like the idea, broken bones. I'm going to use that title, the new band. And got another review out of it, so the ball was rolling from then on.
You were just at that tender age where you could pick up the guitar and, you know, got something to say, just go out there and do it, so we did.
I love the UK subs, which I got to join in '83, and I left. I wanted to be in that band, and I just fucking threw everything else away. And then I fucked that up later on in '85. Being drunk and stupid.
My thing was I just loved playing. The rest of it didn't make any difference to me. But I just love playing. If I don't like playing, I wouldn't fucking bother doing it.
There ain't no fucking extinguisher this shit.
The second time around, you're a bit wiser, you know a bit more. I mean, we all got fucking shafted big time. First time around. We have done this time, but not as bad. You know what I mean? It's like swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, initially we were just young and naive, and
Now we're older now.
I'm from the US originally. Been playing in bands for probably about 30 years.
generated a lot of money for our record labels, but we never saw anything of it.
But then again, though, it wasn't about the money.
No, not no. It's
It didn't really make any difference. I had a job, so I didn't care. So.
This next song is called You Take Part in Creating This System That We All Must Suffer In.
It's all fallen into place. Like it was meant to be. '90s, I joined the band Ministry, which what sealed my deal over in America, and I could do anything basically over there with music after that. And I come back in 2002 when I got Calvin, because no one else would do it, so I had to do it. Even though I'm over in the fucking America, I had to put it all together and get Calvin to agree to it, which took another 2 fucking years. I've been pissing and moaning. And I was like, you can't leave the band like this, you can't just like let it fucking die with what you fucking done to it. And I thought, well, with another record, that was gonna seal the group back together. But no, he dropped the ball, said he didn't want nothing to do with it after that. I spoke to Ian Glasper. He's like, try Rat from the Verucas. And we had him come over for a rehearsal. I looked at everyone else, I was like, we're all right with that. And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. But he did his bit. I love that song, fucking, the beginning and the end. Love that. That was like the last thing I did on the drums.
How did you come about joining the band?
I mean, I knew Taz before then, when I played in a band called Wasted Life, and we supported Discharge in Stoke. And I knew Randy's sister at the time, and Randy was talking to her, and she says, you know, I want to work with this guy. It was talked about, and then, you know, we did Broken Bones. And then eventually, I guess, you know, not really my place to say, but whatever happened with Rat, happened with Rat. And then I got a phone call actually. I was more comfortable with Discharge than Broken Bones, you know what I mean? Broken Bones is a completely different vocal style.
The way that we constructed Broken Bones songs was using more blue scale choruses,
More
and
changes and stuff.
And you know, it was because that was what I wanted to do at that time. It was more like a fucking R&B band, like a more rhythm and blues, like souped up, like a Dr. Feelgood meets fucking The Damned.
It did help a lot though, all them big bands covering your songs as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because people at them wanted to find out a bit more about Discharge.
With Discharge, it was a big name, and I just thought, well, because I knew what Rat went through. You know, he used to get a lot of slack basically because he wasn't Cal. I said, I will do the gigs, and we'll see how it goes, you know what I mean? If it goes well, I'll stick with it, you know what I mean? But I don't want to be like the guy that's just getting all this shit all the time, you know what I mean? So I did the gigs, and it was nothing but good feedback, you know, and so I stuck with it.
I mean, I did meet some in America in the 80s, Metallica and Thrash and all that. They were like little kids dancing at the front.
yeah.
Well, we were little kids, you know what I mean? We played the O2 Metallica tour. Like, it was the singer and the drummer, wasn't it?
It was at the Underworld in Camden.
And I saw him when he was playing. And he went up to the t-shirt guy and goes, There's only 3 t-shirts. She didn't even know who they were. She didn't know who to buy one like everybody else. They were playing the fucking O2 the night before.
And they just walked off, huh?
Didn't buy one.
We had state control. Now it's our fucking time. This song is called Decontrol.
As far as putting out your stuff, getting people look at it, it's you can't fault it really. It's amazing. But like I say, the music business, it's get your arse out of it. Which is good in a way. Fuck 'em.
As far as sales, I mean, I think it affects that because it's like, obviously people just download shit. You know what I mean? It certainly has an effect on that. And when we put out the last album, End of Days, it was, it was fucking available online to download before it was even officially released.
It's an UK album charts. It was only in like 4 days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it didn't last long, but it was a fucking miserable experience. Every day we're in the fucking practice room, wearing gloves and hats and shit, freezing. But I think that's kind of what added to the album. The same thing when we recorded it. It was just, it wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't a fancy place. It was just a very small, basic recording studio.
But I'm sure the place you got mixed at was fancy.
Is that how you work creatively?
We haven't got a formula of like constructing our tunes. Like when we get together in the rehearsal room, we'll all have a throw, and whatever sticks.
Someone comes up with a riff, you know what I mean? It just goes from there. Everybody adds their bit. When the music comes about, I don't come up with lyrics straight away. Obviously, I don't sit there with a pen writing lyrics down, right? I just kind of fucking shout to whatever they're playing. And I try to shout, see how things fit. I'm not shouting anything, just kind of grunting like a fucking caveman. As far as recording goes, I've never ever liked the fucking digital Pro Tools shit that everybody records with.
I like when they combined the two.
But when we did End of Days, I was adamant. A lot of the reviews, everyone's saying, "Oh wow, it sounds like the old Discharge, but with modern production." And I'm like, it's anything but modern production. Obviously, the sound, people noticed there was something different about it on that album. But to them, it was a modern sound.
I think youngins are quite worse today than back then. In a different way.
Everybody tries. Nobody can do what they really want anymore. Everybody just tries to jump on a bandwagon. Like, shall we be like this? Shall we be like that? There's no creativity left. It's do this, do that.
It's just finding those weird chord structures that which has been done in abundance and in abundance again. You know what I mean? Since this music scene has took that curveball and changed, now it's just like, wow. And listen to this. I'm a labour man. Always have been. That comes from my parents.
We're very working class, Where we lived was rough, and it's all about kind of survival.
I have a love-hate affair with fucking politics. Sometimes I really pay attention to what's going on. And then it just makes you that fucking angry.
Could have ended up, being a thief, ending up in jail, being a comedian.
Like you with the sounds. Choose guys like you.
I let the always be punk.
It's always be punk, but watered down.
Yeah, the only difference is a lot of us would be dead.
In the UK, it just seems a bit like, you know what I mean?
Stagnant.
It's all.
But then again,
there's not much a younger crowd though, is there?
No. It's age.
You go abroad, everywhere else, you get younger people. All ages really, obviously. But in the UK, it's predominantly just fucking middle-aged men. Apart from London. But most of the people in London are from abroad anyway. Across the world, though, I mean, it's always a mixed crowd. People of all ages.
It's like that old Teddy Boy thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's in the danger again.
I see it quite a lot.
The way I've always felt about that was, I mean, punk is like music based on 3 chords. You know what I mean? And there's only so many variations of 3 chords you can play. You know, and that's why, you know, people ask me what newer bands I'm into, and it's hard for me to find newer bands that are really good, that are different anyway, you know what I mean?
Well, it's all about what you do with them 3 chords.
Some of it's been memorable and some of it's not, man. It's like, some of it's good and some of it wasn't.
Insane, actually. You know, you can visit these, you know, Asia, you know, Japan, South America, all these places, and Russia, you know, and for a lot of these countries, it's just happening. Well, one, it's the first time they've got a voice because, you know, like politically, you know, like the fall of, you know, communism and all that. You know, for the first time, kids have actually think, you know, oh, I can think for myself.
It's hard to like not to pigeonhole bands into certain categories. As far as, you know, making a statement and carry on being a powerful force, you know, that's kind of up to the younger generation to carry that on. In England, like I said, we're not really seeing much, apart from London. You don't really see a younger generation getting into it much in the UK. And they're not going to get any kind of credibility because a lot of it's been done before, you know what I mean? A lot of it's already been done. So as far as any kind of new youth thing popping up, you know what I mean, it might not necessarily have that kind of impact.
As long as you keep playing, people can see it, why not do it? You're not long on the planet, are you?
Well, it seemed to be more popular than since I joined.
As long as we can stop playing, what can we play?
It'll never die, you know what I mean? I just don't think it'll have the impact that it once had. You know, I don't think it'll have that impact that punk once had. Because, you know, if you want to talk about the glory days of punk, it was new.
Cheers, kid. Look at it. It's gorgeous, isn't it?